The Sacramento Kings are in love with De'Aaron Fox. He was the first of his draft class to get an extension. Before Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, even Jason Tatum, the Kings do not want to trade their point guard. But how does De'Aaron feel? I'm sorry, but when Kawhi Leonard demanded a trade from the Spurs, I stopped being surprised at this stuff. The NBA is a players' league, and if a player demands a trade, it's only a matter of time. Fox is having the best year of his career, and maybe he wants to, win games. This video dissects his worth on the trade market and who could afford him. Yo, it's Casey, this is AM Hoops. That was okay. Hit subscribe. Big member shoutouts to Owen Simpson and Will Federico. Who is the next star to demand a trade? That's what we all want to know. I think it's going to be Bradley Beal. Next on that list, maybe Karl Anthony Towns. Possibly Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell if they crash and burn. But it is time to wonder about De'Aaron Fox. Fact is, he is outgrowing this team. Yes, the Kings drafted Tyrese Halliburton, but the last front office was awful. Vlade Divac decided to pay Buddy Hield a fortune, hire Luke Walton long-term, and of course the worst was drafting Marvin Bagley III over Luka Doncic. I know it's not fair to pick on draft mistakes because everyone's got them, but that hurts. NBA trade demands happen when a star player balls out and his team bottoms out. This will make you go,
Things that make you go,
Fox is averaging career highs offensively. He is just one of 7 players with at least 24.7 assists a game. Last month, he was about 29.7 assists with 52% shooting. Look, I get this season has inflated everyone's offensive numbers, but ESPN ranked De'Aaron as the number 6 best player under 25 years old. They think he's better than Ben Simmons, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Brandon Ingram, and others. When a player that good is on a team as poorly run as the Kings, a trade demand is always possible. And I always feel bad when a young player's talent is wasted. As good as De'Aaron Fox is, he gets disrespect by the media. I was actually watching ESPN Live and was shocked to hear this.
Ja Morant had this explosive dunk last night.
He's who De'Aaron Fox thinks he is.
Amin El-Hassan. Why you gotta be like that? De'Aaron Fox is just watching his TV quietly in the living room or in the training room. Come on.
That's like people calling Devin Booker a stat patter before Chris Paul. Well, De'Aaron Fox is not getting a CP3 to save the day. So before we get to the top 5 trade packages, we have to determine what his trade value would be if a trade demand came this offseason. Dude signed a 5-year extension that kicks in next year at $161 million. That's important for 2 reasons. Number 1, I think it slightly lowers his trade value because he's not on a cheap rookie contract, though it's not a huge deal. But number 2, he's got basically no leverage, and the Kings would actually have to want to trade him. That could be the case though, because they are mediocre, the worst thing to be in sports. I mean, think about the Orlando Magic. They hung around the 8th seed for years, getting nowhere, to blow it up. Maybe Sacramento realizes they won't get anywhere being mediocre, and this could jumpstart that rebuild. So let's rank these 5 trade packages from least to most likely and desirable. Number 5, the Raptors, sending OG Anunoby, Chris Boucher, and 4 first-round picks for De'Aaron Fox. Toronto does this especially if Kyle Lowry leaves in free agency. The Raptors are also losing this year, but they're a better-run franchise. They roll with a core of Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and De'Aaron Fox. I am not saying that this makes them contenders, but getting Fox's talent in free agency would be impossible for this team. Now, the Kings don't love this package because it doesn't have elite young talent. That's why it's just number 5. Number 4, the Chicago Bulls deal Kobe White, Patrick Williams, and 3 firsts. I will link my deep dive on why this is actually the Bulls' plan in the description, but Chicago would do this. I mean, the reason 2 firsts were dealt for Nikola Vucevic is Chicago wants to build through trades and free agency. They are all in on the next star who demands a trade. Fox is a great fit too, as a playmaker to add with Zach LaVine and Vooch. Sacramento likes the Bulls' young talent just slightly more than the Raptors, but it's still not a great offer. Number 3, the Knicks flip RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, and 4 firsts. Now we are getting to the interesting stuff. The Knicks package is a good fit. Quickly replaces Fox at point guard next to Tyrese Halliburton. RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin start alongside Marvin Bagley in the front court. In New York, De'Aaron Fox is an offensive savior. They've been elite on defense this year, but they need firepower. A star hasn't chose MSG in over a decade, so they have to trade for one instead. Barrett has been good with Tom Thibodeau as head coach, so it hurts to let him go, but don't underestimate how big an upgrade Fox's talent would be. Number 2, the Heat trade Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, KZ Okpala, and 2 firsts. And yes, that sounds like a ton, but if Miami gets the number 6 best player under 25, it's worth it. And by the way, Tyler Hero didn't even make the top 27 on that list. I know Pat Riley talks him up, but he might be just trying to drive up Hero's trade value. This package assumes that the Heat re-signed Duncan Robinson because he's a free agent this summer. Also, the picks are a little shaky because protections would have to be released with OKC, but this package does work. Miami would do this trade to pair an elite scorer and a good playmaker with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo for a big 3. Sacramento likes the guaranteed young talent in Hero, a hopeful one in Achiuwa, and one of the best shooters in the NBA. But the best package is the Warriors, dealing Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, Eric Paschall, and 4 firsts for De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. Yes, the blockbuster. I have begged for the Warriors to consider a move like this. They deal all their future young assets for a win-now package. I know the fit isn't perfect because Fox is a guard and his 3-ball is not elite, but this could be Golden State's only option. A report said that the Kings offered Bagley for Sadiq Bey, so he is available, and not too expensive. The Kings do this to jumpstart a rebuild. They replace Bagley with Wiseman. That Minnesota first could be a franchise player. Golden State doesn't need a future star, they need a current one, and this trade works. The best case scenario is that Fox stays where he is, they turn it around and compete, but that doesn't look realistic. What I want more than anything is for Fox's talent to be recognized. If he does too, a trade demand is coming. But more on those Warriors. In honor of them having the best package, this video is how they completely messed up the whole season and what they should do with their young assets.